I would be starting a video sitting on my toilet, but there's a first for everything. And you might be wondering, what am I doing here? And it's for a really good techie reason that I think a lot of you are going to appreciate. It blows my mind how many expensive devices still don't have smart compatibility, an app where you can control all the features. For instance, this right here is my remote for my $400 smart bidet. And if I ever lost this, I would have to either use the manual controls, which are in a really weird location, or try to purchase a new one. Or I can just do this. This is the SwitchBot Hub 3, and it allows you to turn any dumb device into smart tech that you can control directly off the hub, or even better, through your phone. Not only that, but you can control up to 30 SwitchBot devices, as well as Matter compatibility with Apple HomeKit, which gives this thing a lot of possibilities, but also some major frustrations if you're just a normal consumer. And that's what we do here at Bad Tech, is try to find out if devices are actually worth it for the average consumer. So buckle in, because I have a lot to say. We're gonna find out if the Hub 3 is good or bad tech. Welcome to the channel where I try to give you completely honest reviews of the newest tech currently released and find out if it's really worth you buying. If you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is hit the subscribe button right down below. So let's talk about what you get with the actual device, because there's not a whole lot in the box. You get the main unit, which comes with two different types of mounts. One can be equipped on the wall, and the other one is just a little stand that you can put anywhere. Unfortunately, the Hub 3 does not have direct power compatibility. So you always need to have it plugged in with the power cord and the power block that's included. They do also give you a little template if you want to mount it on the wall. The screws and other accessories are also included. And that's it. From there, you just have to set it up, which is super easy. Plug it in and go directly to the SwitchBot app, where you just go through a simple process of connecting it to your Wi-Fi. One thing you're going to notice right away on boot up is the temperature and humidity right on the front screen. And they're able to do this because they actually added a built-in gauge directly on the power cord, which is able to read the temperature and humidity of the room it's in. And that means you can monitor this information directly from the hub or your phone at any point. The actual device is a pretty major upgrade from the SwitchBot 2. You have this brand new master volume gauge, obviously that nice design screen with 4 little buttons down below, which are actually hard to notice. You can kind of see them just with little LED lights, but they are fully customizable. We'll go over those a little bit later. Now, around this movable wheel control, there's also 4 directional keys and an OK button, which you can press in the middle. From there, you also have your home button, a button that will bring you to your different devices, a back button, and then your on and off controls for the device. The device is honestly really well made and constructed. I would say my biggest criticism is this stand. Although it has like some rubber padding on the bottom, because these are pushable buttons, you'll notice when you're pressing them, you do move the machine around a little bit. So they included these 3M sticky pads, which you could easily put underneath if you have to. That way it stays in one place. But then of course, when you want to move it, you have to rip it off, which is kind of annoying. The screen itself is super clear. It's obviously not crazy large, but it's a big enough size. One thing I've noticed is I always want to touch the screen. Everything should be a touch screen nowadays, so I am a little annoyed that like they didn't make it swipeable, at least, where you can move through menus into different screens. But it's not the biggest deal. These controls are well made and they're easy enough to access the different menus, and there's not a whole lot really you're accessing on this device. Now, the main purpose of this device is to take all your SwitchBot tech around your house, whether you have their locks, humidity gauge, fans. By the way, I didn't even notice SwitchBot has this many products. I guess it's not as big in Canada. And basically you can have up to 30 of those devices connected to your Hub 3. And this essentially acts as a bridge to your Apple HomeKit, to your Google, or your Amazon Alexa. I just turned mine on by accident. And essentially allowing you to control all of your SwitchBot devices directly through those smart systems. And that's a major upgrade from the SwitchBot 2, which only allowed you to bridge 8 devices. So we're talking about 4 times as much. Now, one miss I had when I decided to purchase this product to review, and I am pretty careful on what I decide to purchase, is the realization of how much having SwitchBot products matter when you're testing this out. The fact that I don't have any means I'm missing out a lot of these features, such as the ability to lock and unlock your door, and it even shows you the status directly on the device. But because I use Eufy's locks, it doesn't show me that information. So I will preference any information going forward. No, you do not need SwitchBot's products if you buy this. Yes, you should have them though, because otherwise there's just other hubs you could use that will probably be more compatible. But one area that's very important to touch on is how you can turn any dumb tech product into smart controllable devices directly from your phone using this hub. Let's test it out. So there's really 3 types of products that connect to the SwitchBot hub. We talked about the first one, which is SwitchBot products. Big surprise there. But now we're going to dive into the next 2. The first one being any IR remote. And luckily SwitchBot has over 100,000 pre-programmed remotes built into this thing, which makes it really easy to scroll through the options and select what kind of device you're using. If for whatever reason your remote is not there, you can still pre-program any remote manually. It is a bit of a process, but I was able to do it on some of my favorite devices. So let's check this out. So as you can see, this remote has seen better days. In fact, it's the remote for my fireplace. So can we get this to work on my phone through the hub as a smart remote? And I'm not even really sure what to select here. We're just gonna press others. So now for this one, we have to go to the edit option. And when the light on your hub goes off, or when you hear a prompt tone, point your physical remote to your hub and press the same button. Okay, now I have the ability to turn it on and off. Look at this, as I tap my phone. And now we can set this on as on/off. Well, if there's one remote I care about more than anything, it's this one. This is for my smart bidet, and it got me thinking, what if I could set up with the hub the ability to use my smart bidet remote directly from my phone? Let's see if it works. So we're gonna go to add IR appliance. Again, there isn't an option for this, so we're just gonna go to other. We'll create a new room, add this to bathroom main, and we're gonna change this to bidet remote. Now, just like before, we got to add buttons to this. So I'm gonna start by adding the posterior button. It added it, okay. So I'm gonna stop it on the remote. And now let's see what happens when I press this. Come on, come on. Okay. It is definitely working. Okay, so we got button number 1 saved. Now here's where the downside comes in. I went and moved my Hub 3 back downstairs, and because this relies on infrared signals, if I try to use my bidet while my hub is downstairs, I'm basically out of luck. Those signals do not move through walls and floors, which means, yeah, if you're using IR appliances, which is one of the major draws, I think, of this device, you will require one in almost every single room, which makes me wonder why they just don't have little sensors you can buy separately that connect to the main hub over Wi-Fi and that essentially extend your IR signal to that sensor. That way you don't need the major hub in each room. I think this is a major miss, or maybe they're coming out with it in the near future. But yeah, that sucks. If I'm trying to turn older gadgets into smart home gadgets I can control, guess what? They're not always going to be in the same room. And realistically, I'm not going to have a smart hub in every single room and floor of my house. Now, the last type of devices you can connect are Matter devices. Matter is kind of a standard universal smart home technology that was created by multiple large companies. And this is done to kind of integrate systems together. However, it's just not available on a ton of products right now. In fact, in my house, I only have a few that it works with, one of them being the Eufy E28. And to set this up on the SwitchBot hub is actually a bit of a process, and to be honest, kind of annoying and not very intuitive at all. And I really tried to get my Eufy E28 vacuum set up through Apple HomeKit and then onto the Smart Hub 3, and for whatever reason, I just couldn't get it connected. And that's where I kind of realized if you're buying this for anything other than SwitchBot products or for the IR Blaster, which allows you to create remotes, it's probably just not the smart hub for you. There's other hubs out there that are going to work better with whatever main system you're using. Now, there is an extra bonus for this as well. You can actually control pretty much any streaming device or TV directly with the system, and it's really easy to set up. For instance, I was able to hook up my Fire TV remote, my Roku, my ONN Pro, which is Google TV, and you can run the remotes directly on the main screen here, or you can also use it through your phone, which if you have Fire TV already has a remote app, so a little redundant there. But it is cool to be able to have this nearby and access your remote and your TV if you really have to. But that really depends on where you have this set up, because I'm not going to get up, run across the living room, and try to change my TV with it, unless it's an emergency. So like I said earlier, there's actually a lot you can customize on your hub. So if we go into our hub right here and head to displayed info, here we can play around with a bunch of things, such as our A, B, C, D customized shortcuts. So for example, my A1 is set to my bidet. So anytime I go and put my bidet on, I can access it directly from here. But as we learned earlier in the video, this also has to be in the same room. So I would need a separate one in the bathroom, which is annoying, obviously. But you can set up to 4 shortcuts, and they use these little buttons right here, which make it really easy to click through. Yeah, that's actually pretty easy to use, and I do like the way it's set up. Again, should have been a touch screen, but we'll forgive it. You can also toggle on and off weather data. Now, this is gonna set up local weather. Now, this is based on your location, so not your house, but it's gonna show you what the weather is outside, which is pretty handy to use. You just have to set a specific location right here, and it, of course, so we can type in, and now you can see it added the local weather data. It is super hot outside. Americans, this is Celsius, 27.4. It also gives you the lock status. So this is if you have one of the Switch Hub smart locks. Again, I don't have any of those, so it's not super useful for me. But that's really how easy it is to customize this home screen. It's also going to tell you all your IR appliances, and you can go into this section right here and manage your devices. Right here, you can see I have my Amazon Fire TV, my bidet remote, and my Fire TV all hooked up directly through that status screen, which means I can click on them and access the different button options that I have customized and added into them. So we click back here and we go to our Fire TV right here. You're gonna see we can do different things such as pause, there's numerical, we can control volume with it as well. So it does give you a decent amount of options. Again, I don't know how many people are using this hub as the remote, but having your phone as the remote is a different story and a little more useful. The SwitchBot 3 is gonna run you 120 USD, but it's currently on sale for around 100. I have that link down below in the description. Now, the answer of whether this is good tech or bad tech, we almost have to give it 2 rankings here, because if you have SwitchBot products, I would call it good tech 8 out of 10. Now, is it the most intuitive, easy to use smart hub system that I've ever seen? No. Not even close. But if you're in the SwitchBot ecosystem, it's extremely useful and a major upgrade from the Hub 2. But if you're not in that ecosystem, don't buy it. Matter compatibility is just not good enough right now. In fact, like none of my Eufy cameras support it yet. A ton of smart devices don't, although I think in the future this will probably change. I just think there's a lot better options out there. So it really is a niche product based on what smart ecosystem all your products are built into. In that case, I would give it like a 5 out of 10. With that being said, I have now seen all of the interesting SwitchBot products that exist, and I am super excited to test some of them out. So I want you guys to let me know down below in the comments, which SwitchBot product should I review first? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I have some big projects coming up soon. So again, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later.